views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike. Yes, back on the radio. Welcome to Hardcore Christianity and welcome to Filthy Fridays on HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study, a parade of perverted pastors. There you go again. Listen, please don't call anybody and tell them the radio program's on. Filthy Fridays is just for the in-house group. It's just a family program. We don't want to invite any strangers to this program on Fridays. A little bit too much for them. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road, formerly the House of Healing. At the Arizona Deliverance Center, we have 2 services every week, Thursdays and Fridays. We chose those days so they wouldn't conflict with any normal church services in the Valley. They start at 7 o'clock, teaching and preaching, healing and deliverance in every service. Friday night is my teaching service for my radio listeners. Starts at 7 o'clock. The healing services start at sometime approximately around 8:30. Please bring somebody who needs to be healed and prayed for. We would appreciate it. July 28th, Friday, is our seminar. It's the best one of the year. Women's Healing Night. The women come for healing July 28th. When you go to the website, you'll see all of our ministry services. Please remember to hit the PayPal button because you bought us the Arizona Deliverance Center and you have now purchased the Healing House, the house right next to the Deliverance Center. We have purchased it. And we're going to make it a healing and deliverance hotel for people to visit from out of state who cannot afford to stay in a hotel when they come here to get delivered from demons or healed from a physical illness. So we're going to be renovating that. Hopefully it'll be ready in August or September. And we thank you so much for partnering with us and sending us your finances to help it. It has been fantastic. The ministry is growing. The ministry is fully anointed by God. And it's going to make a monstrous impact, not only on Arizona, but nationally within the next few years. This is your chance to get in on the ground floor. The radio programs are always available. SoundCloud.com/hardcore-Christianity. Perverted pastors. Wow. As Reagan said to Mondale, well, there you go again. Here it is. Quote, here's the article. Did you read this? Quote, a pastor at a Carlsbad church has been accused of repeatedly molesting a child over the course of about a year, pleaded not guilty in court Friday. The prosecutor said Matthew Tague, age 43, only turned himself in because his wife caught him molesting the young girl. Tague of San Marcos, California, was arraigned at the North County Regional Center. It was his first court appearance. Quote, this is very shocking to me, said Karen Graham, who says the pastor mentored her son. Quote, it's like losing a close friend to my son and to my family. We have a man of this stature doing something like that. It's just unbelievable. Tague is a pastor at the North Coast Calvary Chapel. Was arrested Wednesday on 14 counts of lewd and lascivious acts on a minor. Now this story kind of hits home for me because my in-laws live in Oceanside, California, which is right next to this Carlsbad, as you know, and they attend the Calvary Chapel of Oceanside. And that church, not the current pastor, but the pastor previously to that church that they attended, he got fired because he was addicted to porn. Calvary Chapel systems, they're really good and they have a lot of good people that work in there. There's no question. Lots of good people, and they do teach a lot of good doctrines. The major problem with the Calvary Chapel is that they don't have deliverance. They don't believe Christians can have spirits. So because of that satanic belief and because of their spiritual ignorance, the Calvary Chapel pastors, many of them, crash and burn because of greed issues and lust issues. It's very common. Well, apparently it's very common out in the Carlsbad Oceanside area because this thing's getting out of hand. The article says, quote, the San Diego County Sheriff's Department said Tague called deputies on Monday and reported the crimes himself. He's being held at the Vista Detention Facility on $2 million bail. The prosecutor said he molested a 12-year-old girl for a year. Tague's victim was allegedly molested by force multiple times. Okay? Now this is one of those mega church Calvary chapels. These things are big. There's thousands of people that go to these churches. And incredibly, this guy had an impeccable reputation. He was extremely well liked. He was very bright, good Bible teacher, good man of God, very impressive person. By the way, the Oceanside pastor that collapsed in porn that my in-laws were facing years ago, he was the same way. These Calvary Chapel pastors, they all seem to be cut out of the same ilk. They're intelligent, they're friendly, they're good people, they get along good with others, they're dedicated to the Lord. They all kind of have the same characteristics, and unfortunately some of them have these characteristics. They picked up lust demons when they were young, and they never got delivered after they got saved. That's a process that I call carryover. It's called carryover. I invented the term. It's a situation where a sinner is infected with demons, could be any kind, and then they get born again. They hear the gospel, they answer the call, they actually get saved, they actually get born again, but because the system that led them to Christ is spiritually ignorant and doesn't have deliverance services available, the person then carries over his demons from his sinful life into his Christian life. Why is that? Because you don't automatically get delivered from demons when you get saved. Only your spirit man is saved. Nothing else about you, your conscience, your mind, your body, your soul, nothing else about you is born again. Only your spirit man's born again. Well, the demons are not in your spirit man. They're in your body. They're in your brain. They cause mental illnesses. They cause emotional illnesses. They cause uncontrolled lust. If you have a pastor who has these lust demons, that famous pastor in Atlanta that just died of cancer, he was bisexual. He was married, but he was fooling around with teenage boys. You remember the story. It was a national scandal. That's the exact same situation the Calvary Chapel system has. They have the exact same situation. They have no deliverance, so they have carryover. They carry their demons over from their sinful life into their Christian life, and they don't know it. They don't know it. They don't know they're sick. They don't know they're sick because they don't understand the spirit world. They haven't attended any of my seminars on the spirit world. They haven't watched any of my YouTube videos where I break down specifically and exactly how this system works. But really, doesn't it make sense? When you become a born-again Christian, you don't automatically get healed. If you have a disability, a sickness, or an illness, and you get saved, you don't automatically get healed, do you? Of course you don't. Hopefully you get healed later. The same principle applies to demons. You don't automatically get delivered once you get saved, do you? Of course you don't. Now, it is true that you may get partially delivered. Let me give you an example. I've had several people that I've led to the Lord in the past who were instantaneously delivered of smoking. I mean, just like that. They received Christ. Their spirit man was rejuvenated, regenerated. Bang! They became born again, and the spirit of smoking instantly left them. That's true. That can happen in some cases. But generally speaking, it does not work like that. You don't automatically get healed. Hopefully you get healed later. You don't automatically get delivered. Hopefully you get delivered later. Well, these Calvary Chapel people, because they're spiritually ignorant and they don't understand the spirit world, they don't have experience casting out demons, they don't understand the concept of carryover. Carryover means you carried your demons from your sinful life into your Christian life, and you still have similar bondages you had when you were a sinner. Now listen to me carefully. If you're like these Calvary Chapel pastors, and you've got this horrible, you've got a lust thing you can't get over, you got a porn thing you can't get over, you got a same-sex attraction you can't get over, you may not be practicing. Like this pastor was molesting a 12 or 13-year-old girl, but many pastors, not just Calvary Chapel, it goes down the line, you name it. Charismatic pastors, Pentecostal pastors, prophetic pastors, they also have these issues, but they're not practicing them. They have lust issues, but they have them under control. They pray, they fast, they beat them down, they read the Bible. But these desires are still there, and the person feels sad, guilty, or shameful because they have these desires. Listen to me carefully. Those are not your desires. That is a spirit in your body giving you a desire for lust, for homosexuality, for porn. It's a spirit in your body causing these urges, and in some cases, like this Calvary Chapel pastor, they act on those urges. And if the person is very intelligent, he can cover it up and live a double life for a long period of time. It's very common, happens all the time. I've counseled dozens of people over the years who have lived double lives. It's just like another thing. People do it all the time. If you have these deep-seated urges of some kind of lust, food, sex, gambling, whatever it is, and you want to get rid of it, and you understand that you had carryover, you didn't go through deliverance after you got saved, after you got filled with the Spirit, you were speaking in tongues, but you still had not gone through deliverance. Those demons are still in your body. You're eligible for free counseling services, 602-636-5800.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.